Please stop what you're doing. Listen, please, 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 please. The scariest scam just happened to us. I'm still very shaken. It didn't even happen to me. Please send this to your parents. If you have older parents, if you have older grandparents, please send this to them or let them know that this is happening, okay? So about half an hour ago, my husband got a call from my phone number. It had my picture, it had my name, everything about it. It was my number. It was like a regular call. He didn't even think anything of it, answered the phone. On the other line was a guy saying he was holding me hostage and was going to shoot me if my husband did not transfer him money through Zelle.
Okay, so we've heard about skims before. Skims is not anything new, but this one right here is by far the worst I've heard. So you mean to tell me you wake up in the morning and you decide, oh, I'm going to call someone, let them know, oh, I have their loved ones held hostage. And in order for them to get them back, they're going to have to send this amount of money for them to get them back. Is this what we're really doing today? This is by far the worst, the most lowest I've ever heard. Let's continue.
My husband immediately started texting our good friend that's in the FBI, and that guy instructed him to keep the guy on the phone and try to have that guy put me on the phone. Like if he really had me, put me on the phone. So Josh my husband is keeping him on the phone, trying to tell him to put me on the phone. In the meantime, he's also tracking my phone. Well, I happen to be at the hospital because my son had a doctor's appointment. So our FBI friend leaves work and is headed to me to make sure everything's okay. Josh was able to drag this phone call out for 5 minutes. And in the meantime, this guy is asking for, he's getting hostile and he's asking for the money via Zelle. My husband's like, I don't know what Zelle is. Do you have Venmo? Because he's just like trying to prolong the conversation. He's like, I really need to talk to her. I need to make sure she's okay. After about 5 minutes of this, he still wouldn't put me on the phone, obviously, because I wasn't there. So Josh, my husband, hung up and called me right back, and I answered, and he was like freaking out, right? Anyways, the scariest part of all this is that they call from your number and they knew everybody's names. So please spread the word that this is a new scam because it is very realistic. It is very terrifying. And I know that a lot of people would just give them account numbers to get their loved ones back. Gosh, just spread the word, please. Hopefully, if we spread it far and wide, we can squash this and it'll stop being.
She's right. It is terrifying and it is scary because you don't wake up in the morning thinking, oh, I'm going to get a random call that my loved one was kidnapped and I'm going to have to pay ransom. No, it's not part of your day. And it's not normal. These people, they have to be stopped.
I don't even know if I am allowed to make this video right now, but I'm going to make it because okay. I work in banking. I just sat down with a customer for about a little bit over 4 hours of my day. I work an 8-hour shift. I just sat down with a customer for about 4 hours. So half of my day's work. It is 3:30 p.m. and I am now about to go for lunch, okay? Because I've had this woman since 11 o'clock this morning. There is an epidemic of scammers going on right now, where customers are getting calls on the phone or text messages where they say, oh, somebody attempted to make a withdrawal or a transaction on your account. If this was not you, please call this number. And the customers are calling these numbers. And then the people behind the call say, let me get some information of you to verify so that I can help you secure your money at this bank, at this credit union, at this financial institution. And the people willingly give out their information. They willingly give out their account numbers, their online banking IDs, their passwords, their debit card pins, their debit card numbers, their credit card numbers, thinking that they're doing the right thing, trying to secure their accounts. And they are actually giving all of their credentials to these scammers who are then going to log into your online banking and wire money out of your account galore. And they're doing this telling you, I'm transferring the funds into a secure online account until we can secure that, that the scammers didn't take the money out. We're going to keep it here for 24 hours and then tomorrow we'll transfer it back.
I had something similar happen to me this way, but it didn't have to do with my bank. It had to do with my electricity company. So long story short, they called, they said that, they saw that I paid too much this month, that, they wanted my information so they can send money back to me. So they asked me for my account number. I gave them a fake one. They asked me for my address. I also gave them a fake one. And when they asked me for my card number, I gave them a fake one. So everything else that I gave them, they said, okay, it was correct. They saw that it was right. But the minute I gave them my card number, they automatically said, oh, am I sure that this was the right number? And I said, yes. And they were like, well, something's wrong with the card. I said, no, this is a card I've been using. Matter of fact, I used it today. So I already saw that, it was a scam. I didn't entertain the rest of it. And I just hung up. So I can definitely relate to what she's saying right now.
Or they tell customers, go into the institution where you bank, make a withdrawal. Do not tell them what you're making the withdrawal. And then take the money to this Bitcoin machine so it could be secured for a certain amount of days until the scammers are out of your account. And then we will redeposit it. And people are doing it. People are doing these things. They're following these instructions. And I know that a lot of people are older and they don't understand. They don't know. But it doesn't make sense. Please, I hope this reaches a lot of people. Do not fall for these scams. Send this to your grandmother. Send this to your grandfather, to your great aunt. They are targeting senior citizens. It's a big thing right now. It's a big thing. And they're convincing them that they're actually helping them, that they're trying to secure their money. They're even telling them that their own banks are scamming them out of their money to take it out and put it in a Bitcoin machine or to buy gift cards with the money. It's a scam. Please, if you get a call like this, if you get a text message like this saying, please call this number, give us information, hang up the phone and go to your local branch and inquire with a banker or a teller or a bank manager so we can advise you so you don't lose your money, because people are losing their life savings. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars they are losing because people are falling for these scams. I want people to please just, if you get a question like this, just go to your branch. Go to your branch, call your branch directly. Don't give out any information. No company, no financial institution will ask you to provide credentials to confirm that you are you. They will not do it. If they're asking for debit card pins, for social security number, for account numbers, it's a scam. Banks, credit unions, they do not ask for that. Please send this to an elderly family member because they're the main ones who are being attacked and they're the main ones who are falling for this. I don't want you guys to lose your money.
This right here is exactly how most scams start. Not with fear, but with trust. They sound professional, they're patient, they're calm. They use the same tone your bank would. And the second they say something like, oh, we're just trying to secure your money, people stop thinking and they start reacting. That's how they get in. They build confidence before they steal. They make you believe that they're saving you from a scam when they're the scam. And honestly, the people who fall for this aren't stupid. They're trusting. They're people who just want to do the right thing. They still believe in good intentions. That's what makes it so heartbreaking, because scammers today don't look for greedy people. They look for good people, the kind who still believe in honesty. And that's exactly who they destroy.
Prefacing this video by saying that this is not my usual content. However, I feel compelled to hop on and share a PSA about a really horrifying scam that is going around right now, and that actually happened to my family in the middle of the night last night. I have seen a few people talking about this like on Instagram and on Facebook and in a couple of like Facebook groups that I'm in, But it's one of those things that you see it and you're like, dang, that's crazy, but you never really think that it could happen to you. Around 3:30 this morning, while we were all sleeping, my brother and I both received a call from my mother's phone. It was her contact number. It was her contact photo. It was even like what was named in our separate phones for her. So in my phone, she is Mama. And in my brother's phone, she is Mom. And it came up like as her contact in both of our phones when we were both called. And for context, I live about 30 minutes out from Atlanta. My brother lives in Atlanta. And my parents live also in the same town as me, like 15 minutes away. So we were all at separate households. I received the call first, but I did not answer because I didn't hear it. It was 3:30 in the morning. I had my phone on vibrate. I didn't hear it go off. My brother happened to have his phone on loud. He received the call second, and he did answer because he heard it ringing and he thought something was wrong. When he answered the phone, he immediately heard what sounded like my mom, a woman's voice that sounded just like her, just crying hysterically and screaming. And so he obviously like freaked out and was like, Mom, what's wrong? Like, is there something wrong with Dad? Like, what's going on? And then before like she could say anything, a man came on the phone and said, I'm going to kill this if you don't wire me $2,500. This man is like yelling over the phone, super aggressively, like demanding money, like saying he's going to murder my mother if he does not get money. The older brother is
That's just sickening, by the way.
very level-headed, but at this point, he's obviously like freaking out. He had not heard of this scam before. I had heard of it before, but even if I had gotten that call, I probably still would have lost my shit because I'm not as level-headed in high pressure situations like that. I probably would have been freaking out, but even he was freaking out. But he had his work phone on him, so he was on his like normal personal phone, and on his work phone, he immediately opened up Life 360, which if you do not have Life 360 for your family and your entire family on there, highly recommend it. It is such a good resource just to keep tabs on where everyone is and making sure everybody is safe if there's any situation like this or any situation just in general, car accidents, anything like that. Life 360 is a lifesaver. So he opened up his Life 360 and he saw that both my parents were seemingly at home, which obviously doesn't mean that they're out of danger. It just means that he had eyes on them. He knew where they were. So once he knew that they were both there, he starts trying to call my dad's phone from his work phone while he's on the phone with this guy. And my dad's not answering because, again, it's 3:00 in the morning. Like, I didn't hear my phone ring. Nobody's hearing their phone ring. So he's calling me, he's calling my dad, and he's trying to get a hold of somebody to, like, figure this out. After a little bit, he's not, like, totally convinced that there's no danger involved, but he is starting to see like red flags. Like he hears a baby crying in the background all of a sudden, which my parents don't have a baby. There shouldn't be a baby. There's no reason there would be a baby with them. And so he's thinking, okay, I know they're at their house, so this is weird. Why is there a baby? And then he also realizes that this man has not mentioned my dad at all, which you would think that he would say, I have your parents, or I've done something to your dad, and now I have your mom, or whatever. So he has not mentioned my dad at all. He's seemingly calling from my mom's phone, so he knows that my mom has her phone, and he also knows that they are at home together. So at this point, he decides to hang up. He hangs up the phone because he's like, this is weird. I don't think this is legit. So he hangs up the phone and he calls 911, and they confirmed that basically like this is a scam that is going around. They're aware of it, but they're going to send a car to the house just to drive by and see if everything's okay. So at this point, my brother feels a little bit relieved, but he gets in the car to drive towards my parents' house anyway because my mom and dad are still not answering their phone. He gets about a quarter of the way there, and then at that point, my mom finally answers her phone, and she's been asleep this whole time, and everything is totally fine, which is such a relief. We were lucky enough to have not lost any money in it. Everything was fine. My parents were fine. The whole family was fine. But is that not the craziest thing you've ever heard? I am so shook by it. It is such a traumatic way to scam somebody. Like, horrifying. Like, not only like they ask for $2,500, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much money, and that's why they do it. I looked it up and I did a little bit of research on it, and apparently they ask for that amount of money because it's an amount of money that most people could give up if they felt like a family member was in danger. But it's, it's just enough for the predator to get some money, but it's not so much that it would be hard for, the general population to obtain or flagged by a bank, et cetera, et cetera. But it's also just crazy that they do it in the middle of the night, or at least they did for us, because they do it at a time that, like, number one, you're disoriented and, like, vulnerable. And number two, like, you're not able to get a hold of anybody that, like, to confirm that this is happening or not happening. And so it is just like, it's so low and traumatic for anybody to receive a call like that. And I just feel like everybody needs to know about it. And again, I feel like it has been circulating on, like, social media. So a lot of people might already know about this, but if you don't, you need to. So anyway, I wanted to hop on and talk about it to hopefully save somebody just the mental anguish of receiving a call like this out of the blue. At least maybe now you'll have seen this video and you'll have at least some peace of mind, or just like an inkling that it could be not true. Share this with your friends, spread the word, because this is just the most predatory, low thing ever.
Imagine you're someone that has health problems. Let's just say, for instance, you have a heart problem. It's 3 a.m. You're getting a phone call exactly like this. That's enough for you to have a heart attack. That's enough for you to die. That's enough for you to pass out. And these scammers, they don't think about this. They're thinking about a get rich quick scheme, and it's affecting other people. It's putting other people's life in danger. And they're okay with it. They don't care. I don't know what to say. This world, it just gets weirder and it just gets worse day by day.
Today I was the victim of phone fraud. Somebody called saying that they were from my bank, from the fraud department of my credit card, that there were fraudulent charges on my card. He verified them, asked me if I did them, and I said no, and then he said, okay, I'm gonna cancel your card right away, like, I'm gonna help you out, don't worry about it. He somehow already had access to, like, see my transactions on that card, so he went through, like, the most recent ones, and asked me, like, is this legitimate, is this legitimate? I was like, yes, like, that I know. And then he somehow got access to, I didn't give him any passwords, nothing. He, like, already had stuff. He just asked me for, like, normal verification questions. And he was somehow able to access my account, and he wiped my checking and my savings clean. I reported it to BMO fraud. And I'm going to the police station now to report it as well. Just be so careful when people call you. Please, just be careful.
You know what's really sad about this part? They're not even targeting the rich. They're going after the humble ones, the ones that's been banking at the same branch for decades, who saved little by little for their grandkids. And the scammers know exactly how to talk to them. Calm, reassuring, always using words like, oh, secure, verify, protect. They sound like authority, like someone who cares. But think about it. When they tell you don't tell the bank why you're withdrawing the money, that's the trap. A human voice meant something, but now a voice can be fake. A number can be cloned. And good people are getting fooled by technology they don't even understand. If you have an older parent or grandparent, please don't just warn them once. Sit down with them. Show them how this happens. Because it's not just their money on the line. It's their peace of mind.
$106,000 was stolen from my husband and I this past weekend by an online scammer, and we will not be getting any of our money back. It is gone. So this is what happened. I got a phone call saying someone was trying to log into our account and steal our money, and they suggested changing the password. They gave him a secure link to log in, asked for the code, and yada yada. That was their access into our account. So it went from 106 to 0 in the blink of an eye. And we immediately went to the police department. We've been in contact with the FBI, but you don't get your money back when scams like this happen. And we had a pretty rough weekend. We cried it out. We did all the things. I'm not going to get on this app and cry, but essentially, after a bad weekend, this is where we've landed. I know God is always going to provide for us. We have hit our knees in prayer, and I fully believe we are going to be just fine. God never promised that bad things won't happen to good people. Everyone's going to go through trials, but he did promise he will be there with us through the storm. And that is exactly how I feel now. That account was, not going to make or break our life. We are very blessed to have a roof over our head. We have secure jobs. Our children are healthy and safe. But that account was an investment in our future. It was going to help us pay for college or retirement, whatever we wanted it to be. But it was a luxury, not a necessity. We will be okay. But at the same time, it was a luxury that was only available because of my husband's hard work. He worked for years to build that account, and we have a newborn. She's a month old, and Matt has been putting in 12, 14-hour days at work every day to provide for us because he is such a hard worker. He works his off to provide for us. And yeah, the sleep deprivation got to him. He got a phone call in the middle of a nap. When you wake up from a nap and you're like, what time is it? What planet am I on? And that's what happened. The scammers took advantage of that. And if it was any other day, probably would have never fell for that. He knows better, but it was just the perfect storm of he was exhausted and didn't know what was going on and just trusted the phone call. And here we are.
Hearing her speak like this makes me put things into perspective. There's something sacred about trust. And once it's broken, it changes people. Our parents, our grandparents, they grew up in a world where a handshake actually meant something, where a voice on the phone was real. And now that same trust is being weaponized. It's not just about the money. It's about the fear it leaves behind. The feeling you can't believe anyone anymore. But the truth is, we can still protect each other. If you're watching this, call someone older in your family this week. Ask them if they've received any strange messages or phone calls. Teach them what to look out for, because one 5-minute talk could save them from losing everything. Not just their savings, but their sense of safety. That's how we fight back. Not with anger, but with awareness, by keeping each other safe in a world that has forgotten what trust feels like. So it's been your girl, Remi Rene here. I'll see you guys in my next video.